A Little Green Christmas. Percy and Little Cheese were battling through the snow. Ice and snow swirled all around them. They could barely see anything through it all. "Oh dear, I've never seen this much snow," said Percy. "Neither have I," said Little Cheese. "I can barely see in all that snow." "Yes, indeed," said Percy's driver. "We might have to stop here." "What? We can't stop now. We need to find Thomas. He could be in trouble." "Percy's right," said Little Cheese. "Okay. But just be careful," said his driver. "We'll make sure to be cautious when we get up close to the valleys." Percy slowly and carefully rolled right through the valley. The valleys were covered in frozen ice, and frost laid all around them. Everything was white, white, white. All over the place. They couldn't find Thomas anywhere. "Oh dear," said Percy. "Maybe Thomas is truly missing. He has to be somewhere." "Don't say that, Percy. You're his best friend, right? You wouldn't let anything happen to him. You can't give up now. It's time to be a big tank engine and go and save your best friend." Percy felt better. "You're right, Little Cheese. I should. I'm not going to give up until I find Thomas," Percy said. As Percy charged through the snow with all his might, just then he heard a whistle. Not just any other whistle, but the whistle that he knew all too familiar. "It's Thomas," said Percy. "Thomas," said Little Cheese. "We must be getting close." Percy shoved through the snow, and then he saw Thomas. "Hello, Percy," said Thomas. Seem to have gotten myself in a snowy situation, if you know what I mean." Percy and Little Cheese laughed and laughed. "Don't worry, Thomas. We're here now, and we'll get you out in a jiffy," said Little Cheese. It took some time, but finally they got Thomas out of the snow. "Thank you, Percy. Now let's get this tree back to the sheds. The other engines will be waiting." "Yes, indeed," said Percy. And buffer to buffer, the two best friends and Little Cheese puffed carefully down the line and back to Tidmouth's sheds. They arrived back just in time before the party starts. The workmen quickly unloaded Thomas's flatbed and placed the tree right into the center of the sheds. And all Thomas and Percy were surprised to see the entire sheds were decorated and painted in bright colors and bright decorations. "This is gorgeous," said Percy. "Too right," said Little Cheese. "It's splendid," said Thomas. "Percy," said Sir Topham Hatt, "you are a really useful engine and a really reliable one." "Thank you, sir." "Thank you, Percy," said Thomas. "You truly were a really useful engine." "And Little Cheese," said the fat Sir Topham Hatt, "you were a really useful friend indeed. Indeed, the bestest pony friend. Very right, said Thomas. Little Cheese blushed. Thank you, sir, said Little Cheese. Percy smiled. And as the party went on that night, Percy sat next to Thomas. He sat next to Thomas and Apple Bloom. And with Little Cheese by Percy's side, Thomas and Percy were very happy to be together, but Percy was just not happy to be with Thomas's his friends, and with Thomas especially. Not only that, but because he is next to another dear friend, his dear little pony friend, Little Cheese. And Percy and Little Cheese have felt like they dubbed themselves as the heroes of Christmas.